Class. Welcome once again to my live class. Yeah. In our today's class, we'll be looking at exponents. Okay, what exponents is what exponent is really is. Uh, when we talk and how to solve exponential problems. Okay, so if you are new in our live class, just let us know where you're watching from. Actually, I'm teaching from Nigeria. Okay, Abuja, Nigeria. So in our class today, we'll be able to learn and explain the term exponents, what exponent is really is, and also to apply the laws of exponents in simplifying expressions. Then again, we are able to we'll be able also to differentiate between a positive, a negative, a zero, and fractional exponent. Before the class ends, we will now be able to solve many practical problems regarding exponents. So if I decide to write a number like today's exponents, okay? So if I decide to write a number like when I say 2 times 2 times 2, okay? This is basically when we have it that 2 times 2 times 2. What is 2 times 2 times 2? That's basically what? 8. 2 times 2 is 4 times 2 is what? 8, right? So we can now say that since we are multiplying 2 together, this is giving us 8, right? We can now, in exponent form, we can now write it to be as what? 2 to the power of, since we are multiplying this particular 2 by itself 3 times. So we can now say that this is basically what? 3 cubed. Okay? So 2 times 2, 4 times 2 is what? Is what? 8. So this explains the fact that this particular number is in its exponent form or index form. Okay? When we have 2 power 3, this number 2, which is the bigger number, we call it the base. We call it the base. So this is called the base. Okay? Then the power of the number, thank you so much. The power of the number, this is the power now, which is 3. This is called the power, or we call it the exponent. Okay? So this is the base. This 2 is the base. And what? 3 is called the power. So you can now see that whenever we multiply a number, okay? Whenever we multiply a number by itself several times, let's say we are multiplying a by a to the point we get it to a reasonable term, let's say a, okay? Into what? N times. Let's say we multiply a into n times, okay? When we multiply a into n times, why is it backward? Are we learning today? Yes, I don't know why my video is inverted. I don't know how to fix it. Do you know how to do that? So you can help me. Okay, so here we are multiplying a to n times. In exponent, we are going to do what? This is basically what? This is basically a to the power of n. It shows that we are multiplying a, which is the base, by itself into what? I'm using an iPhone. I'm not using a computer. I'm using an iPhone. I don't know how to reset the camera. So let's say you are multiplying a to the power of to n times. This is basically what? A to the power of what? N. Okay? So this is how we do that. Okay? Where we say that a is the what? A is the base. Remember, base, and n is the what? Power. This is the power, which is the what? Exponents. That's the major thing about exponents. Okay? You just know about the base. So exponents is just the power to which a number is being raised to get another number. Okay? So example, for instance, if you have 3 to the power of 4, what is this telling you? Okay? Okay, it's your iPhone. You said then what's this? He said, or if it's your phone, then search flip left under the camera. Under the camera. I'm using my front. Okay. If it is in your phone, if it is in your phone, then search flip left under camera from front camera. My iPhone. I couldn't see the setup in my iPhone. How will I do that? I couldn't see the setup in my iPhone. How can I do that? I can't see it. I went to the if you said that in my phone I should search for I should search for then I should search for left. I should if it's your phone, then search flip left, right, then search flip left under camera. Flip left. Manage it today. I will learn how to manage it today. I will learn how to use the front camera, okay? I'm just trying to do it. I don't know. So let's just continue with this. I will learn about it and update us. So this is 3 power 4, which is the same thing as 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. That is us multiplying the base. You know the base is 3 and the power is 4. So us multiplying the base 3 by itself into what? 4 times. Okay? So here we call it what? The exponent. Okay? So the exponent is basically how many times the base is multiplied to get the powers. So the next one we'll look at is, let's look at if we have 5 squared. 5 squared, the base is 5 and the power is 2. Remember, exponents is asking us how many times we are going to raise the base to get the power. Okay? So here, what are we going to do? This is basically telling us that the base multiplied itself twice to get. So this is basically 5 times 5. Okay? So this is basically 5 times 5. So if you are following, I want you to try 2 to the power of 4. 2 to the power of 4. How can we express it to be in exponents form? 2 to the power of 4. How can we express it to be in exponents form? 2 to the power of 2 to the power of 4. How can we 2 to the power of 4? How can we express it to be in exponents form? 2 to the power of 4. How can we express it to be in exponent form? I am about to go into the meeting. I can't help further to write the background. Use try to write backward. Use a mirror. You will get more obvious. Okay, so you see that. Thank you. You see that when you have 2 to the power of 4, 2 to the power of 4 is basically 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. 2 to the power of 4, this is the base and this is the exponent. Remember, the base here, this is the base, is telling us, and the power, which is 4, the base is telling us that the power is telling us that the base multiplied itself 4 times. Okay, this shows that the base is 2. That is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. Okay, so 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which is what? The exponential terms. So now we move to the laws of exponents. Okay, now we have to move to the laws of exponents. The laws of exponents are very, very simple. For instance, we have the laws of exponents. Laws of exponents. Okay. In the laws of exponents, these are various rules that we use while solving exponential terms. Okay. For the first one, let's say the first rule says that a power m times a power n is the same thing as a to the power of a m plus n. Okay. This is what the laws of exponent is telling us. That whenever we are multiplying exponential terms in the same base, what do we have to do? We just have to add their what? Powers. Okay? So here, let's take a simple example. Okay? In taking a simple example, it is very simple. For instance, let's say we have 3 to the power of 2 times 3 to the power of 7. Okay? These are two exponential terms that are multiplying themselves. This is 3 power 2 times 3 power 7. For us to solve this is very, very simple. The rule says that whenever the bases are the same and we are multiplying them together, all we have to do, why is, okay, it's confused. Yeah, I don't know how to set the camera, that's why. I'm trying as much as possible. Maybe in our next live class, I'm going to do it better. So what do? We are multiplying in base 3, okay? And we observe that the powers are the same, okay? When the powers are the same in exponents, all you need to do, when the bases are the same in exponents, all you need to do is just to add the powers. So what are we going to do here? We just have to do 3, we add 2 to 7. 2 plus 7, okay? What is 2 plus 7? What is 2 plus 7? What is 2 plus 7? Let me know in the comments. What's 2 plus 7? What is 2 plus 7? Let me know in the comments. 2 plus 7 is 9. So the answer is 3 power 9. Okay? So this is very, very simple. It's just for you to know that whenever the bases are equal, all you need to do is to add the powers. Okay? So let's take another one. We have 5 power 8 times 5 power 11. Okay, this is a very big number, you know. In exponents, we always know that whenever we are multiplying in the same base, our rule in multiplying in the same base is that we are going to add the powers. This is very, very simple. And if you look at the question, our base here is 5. The two bases are 5 and 5. And we are multiplying in the same base. And all we have to do from the rule is that we just have to add their powers. So for us to add the powers, it is very, very simple. So we keep a constant base of 5. Okay. What do? We add 8 to 11. You have it as 8 plus 11. Okay. Then if you add 8 to 11, what's the value? 8 plus 11 is basically 19. So the answer is 5 power 19. This is very, very simple. So whenever you are multiplying in the same base, you just have to do what? Add the powers. Let's look at the next one. We have 7 power 3 times 7 power 6. Please, 7 power 3 times 7 power 6, using the same rule, what will be the answer? 7 power 3 times 7 power 6, using the same rule, what will be the answer? 7 power 3 times 7 power 2, 6. What will be the answer? Let me know down in the comments. When you are multiplying in the same base and you notice that the bases are the same, what you have to do to find the value or to simplify it is just to add its powers. So what do we do to add the powers? We just have to do what? Thank you for saying the answer. 7 power 3 plus 6. And 3 plus 6 is 9. Yeah, I don't know how to, I'm trying my best to to reverse the camera. I'm using an iPhone, a front camera. I don't know how to set it, but later I'll try to understand how it works so I can set it. So you have it as 7 power 9. So this is 7 power 9. It is very, very simple. Okay? Please do well to like the live, share the live video, please, so that people can join. So this is it. Let's look at the next one. We have uh, 4 to the power of 6 times 4 to the power of 9. What is the answer? 4 to the power of 6 times 4 to the power of 9. 4 to the power of 6 times 4 to the power of 9. What do we have to do? 4 to the power of 6 times 4 to the power of 9. All you have to know here is that the bases are equal, and once the bases are equal, you just have to add the powers. So you have it as 4 to the power of 6 plus 9. And 6 plus 9 is 15, which is 4 power 15. And that is the answer. Correct. You are following. Thank you, Drozzy and Basi. Thank you for your comments. I really like it. Okay, so this is it. Please like the live. So this is how we do in exponent. This is how we this is how we add exponents. But the next one is, what if we are dividing like a power m divided by a power n? In this law, it says that we have to keep the base the same. The base is the same. All we need to do is just to add the powers. Okay? Thank you for commenting. Add the powers. You have it as m minus, subtract the powers, sorry, m minus n. Okay? So minus the powers, you're following. That's what I did. I said the different thing altogether. Okay, so for us to do that, this is very, very simple. Let's say we have 3 power 7 divided by 3 power 2. This is simple. Why is it simple? The bases are the same. The base is 3 and the base is 3. Since the bases are the same, all I have to do to find the value of the expression is to subtract their powers. So what do? We just have to do 3 power 7 minus 2. Okay? And 3 power 7 minus 2 is this. Thank you, Drozzy, is the same thing as 3 power 5. And that's the answer. Very, very simple. Let's try another one together, okay? Let's look at the next one. We have 6 power 11 divided by 6 power 8. Okay, can you try that? I remember this at my college school over a decade. Wow. Wow, where do you live? I live in Nigeria. Where do you live? Basic edits. Where do you live? I live in Nigeria. Where do you live? So this is basically the bases are equal. What do? You just have to keep the base the same, 6, then subtract 8 from 11. Okay? So if you subtract 8 from 11, what do you have? Okay, India. That's good to have you here. This is basically 6 to the power of 3. Okay? This is very, very simple. Okay? That's great. That's great. Thank you. Basics from Pakistan. Thank you for joining. Okay, so this is 6 power 3. Okay? That's how we do that. This is very, very simple. Okay, let's look at the next one. Let's look at 10 power 8 divided by 10 power 5. Okay, when you have 10 power 8 divided by 10 power 5, this is exceedingly simple. All you have to note is that the bases are the same. Okay, and in exponent, whenever the bases are the same, all you have to do is just simple subtract the powers. Okay, if you do that, keep the base the same, then subtract the powers, you have it as 8 minus 5. What is the value for 8 minus 5? What is 8 minus 5? 8 minus 5 is 3. So the answer is 10 to the power of 3. This is very, very simple. Okay? So this is how we subtract powers. This is how we subtract powers. Then we look at the next rule in exponent. The next rule in exponent is very, very simple. Okay? Let's say we have a to the power of m, then all raised to power n. Okay? For us to solve this, this is very, very simple. Okay? All you have to do is that you notice that they are of the same common base. The base is a, so you have it as a. You just you have it as A, you just have to do what? Multiply the what? Powers. Okay? If you multiply the powers, that becomes the answer. Let's take, for instance, if you have 3 power 2, then raised to power 3. For instance, 3 power 2, then raised to power 3. This is very simple. Do you know why we apply this rule? This is just 3 power 2. You are multiplying it 3 times because this is the exponent. Okay? Okay, this is the exponent. Bye-bye, my friend. That will be what? You have it as 3 power 2 times 3 power 2 times 3 power 2. And I told you that whenever you're multiplying in the same exponent, you just have to do what? Add the powers. So if you add the powers, you have it as 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 6. But if you the rule is telling us when you have this, you just have to multiply 2 and 3. Okay? So if you multiply 2 and 3, 2 times 3 is 6, which is the same thing as 3 power 6. And that's what the rule is telling us. So the rule is telling us just to multiply. Okay? And that's very, very simple. So let's look at another problem together. Let's look at another problem. Okay, thank you. Dash the blaze. Thank you. You said 729. That's good. So let's look at the next one. Let's say we have 7 power 6, then raised to power 8. Wow, that would be a very big number. Okay. So what can we do to solve this problem? It is very, very what? Simple. Okay, what do? You apply the rule. It says once a term is raised to a power and is also raised to also another power. That's very, very simple. What do? You just have to multiply their powers. Okay, so if you multiply, what do you get? You have it as 7, 6 times 8. What is 6 times 8? Let's know your answer. What is 6 times 8? 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 6 times 8 is 42. You have it as 7 to the power of 42. And that's the what? Answer. Very, very what? Simple. Okay? So this is actually the main way we solve this particular what? Problems. Okay? So it's very, very simple to do. Okay. Over to the next law. The next law we have is that a to the power of 0 is 1. This is telling you that any number you raise to the power of 0 is giving you 1. Let's say 1000 power 0 is also 1. Yeah. So we have the next one. When we have a negative exponent, like we have a to the power of minus m, all you have to do here is very, very simple. The answer is what? 1. To get rid of the negative, it becomes the fractional power, a to the power of m. Okay? This is just 1 over a to the power of m. Okay? Then again, the sixth rule we'll be looking at is very simple, where we have like a to the power of 1 over n is just the root of a, the nth root of what? A. And that's what? The rules of what? Exponents. Okay? So let's try to take a lot of practical examples regarding to this. Okay? So if we want to take a simple example, let's look at 27 to the power of 1 third. Okay? 27 to the power of 1 third. This is very simple. Okay? Because 27 is very, very simple. 27, we can say that 27 is 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times 3, 9 times 3, 27. So we have it as 3 to the power of 3 is multiplying itself 3 times, right? So we have it as 3 power 3. Okay? We have it as what? 3 power 3. So when we have it as 3 power 3, what do we do next? What do we do next? It's very simple. We'll now replace 3 power 3 for 27. Okay? So we'll have it as 3 power 3 raised to power 1 over 3. Okay? When you raise it to the power of 1 over 3, this is very, very simple. Thank you, Dorsey, for your answer. This is very simple. You see that 3 can cancel out 3 when you multiply both. Okay? Please note that. Please do well to live, invite people to join, and that's 3 power 1. And 3 power 1 is basically what? 3. So the answer here is what? 3. Okay? So this is very how this is the easiest way to do that. Let's look at the next number. We have 81 to the power of 3 over 4. Okay? 81 to the power of 3 over 4. Let's know the answer. This is very, very simple. Okay? If you look at 81, 81 can be seen as 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. 1, 2, 3 times 3, 9 times 2, 27 times 3, 81. Right? Which is 3 to the, and 3 is, and 3 is 333, which is 3 power 4. Okay? So what do we do here? Thank you so much, Montana, for giving me the chicken and watermelon. Thank you. I appreciate. One love. Please like and share the live, okay? So what do we do? Instead of writing 81 now, I'm going to replace 81 by 3 power 4. Okay? So what do I do? I'll just write 3 power 4, then 1 over 4. Okay? If I do that, what do we get? 4 can cancel out 4. I have it as, sorry, this is 3 here. I have it as 3 cubed. Okay? So if I have 3 cubed, because the 3 will be left, okay? If I have 3 cubed is basically 3 times 3 times 3. And 3 times 3 times 3 is basically what? 27. So 27 is the answer. Oh, yeah, you got it. Drozzy, you got it. You got it. Okay? That's what? 27. Okay? So this is very, very easy to do. Okay? Let's look at another one. Let's look at something like 2 to the power of 3, then raised to the power of 4. 2 to the power of 3, then raised to the power of 4. Here we will try to get the value of the expression. So you know the laws of exponent, which says that whenever we have a term is raised to an exponent and then is raised to another power. That to do that is very, very simple. Okay? This is just 2 power 3 times 4. You just have to multiply their powers. Okay? And 2 times 4 is 12. So the answer is 2 power 12. Okay? So this is very, very easy to do. This is 2 power 12. That's very easy to do. Let's look at the next one. Let's look at 8 power 3 divided by 8 power 7. Okay? 8 power 3 divided by 8 power 7. 8 power 3 divided by 8 power 7. This is very simple. What do you observe when you are having this? When you have 8 power 3 divided by 8 power 7, it's very, very simple. Thank you, Okezie. This is simple. What do? The bases are the same. All you have to do is just to do what? Subtract their what? Powers. Okay? So if you subtract their powers, 3 minus 7 is minus 4, right? So what do you get? The answer becomes 8 to the power of minus 4. If you want to tell the examiner you are good at maths, it's very, very simple. You just have, when you have a negative exponent, that's 1 over 8 to the power of 4. Okay? That's 1 over 8 to the power of 4. Applying the rule. Which state am I? I live in Abuja, Nigeria. I live in Abuja, Nigeria. What about you, Chi Okeke? What about you? I live in Abuja, Nigeria. Chi Okeke, where do you live, please? Okay, so that's it. The next one we'll have to look at. Let's look at the next one. The next one we're looking at is, let's look at 6 power 3 divided by 6 power 7. Okay, 6 power 3 divided by 6 power 7. This is very, very simple. The bases are equal. This is equal to 6. Subtract the powers, 3 minus 7. Okay, 3 minus 7 is 4. You have it as 6 power negative 4. And that's basically 1 over 6 power 4. Okay, and that's basically 1 over 6 power 4. Okay, Afazi, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. What about you? I'm doing great. Okay, that's the answer. Okay, let's look at this tricky one. We have 27 over 81. This is cubed and this is squared. Okay, we are told to solve this. How can we do this? How can we solve this? This is very, very what? Simple. Okay, but the trick there is that they are not of the same base, but we can find a way to make them to be on the same base. Me too, I'm doing binomial theory today. Okay, good luck, good luck. So what do? If you look at 27, 27 can be expressed in 27 can be expressed in common base of 3. Okay, 27 can be expressed in common base of 3. 27 is 3 times 3 times 3, right? Oh, I live in Abuja, though I do teach tutor kids online. I do tutor kids online for a private classes just like this. So we have it as uh, 27 can be seen as 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, which is 3 cubed, 3 cubed, then all squared, then divided by 81 is 3 times 3 times 3 times 3, which is 3 power 4. So we have it as 3 power 4, all squared. Okay? So we have to look at the laws of exponent again. The laws of exponent, we just have to multiply the powers. So if we multiply, we have it as 3 power. 3 times 2 is 6. 6 over. For the second one, what do? We have 4 times 2 is also what? 4 times, this is 3, I made a mistake. 4 times 3 is 12. 12 is 12. Okay? So if you have this now, this is very, very simple. Okay? This will now be, this will now be they are of the same common base, 3 and 3. You just have to do what? Subtract their powers. Okay? Subtract their powers, you have it as 3 power 6 minus 12. Okay? What is 6 minus 12? What is 6 minus 12? What is 6 minus 12?